Hello and welcome back to Football Manager. We've now made it to the first day of the new season, and you're probably well aware of the financial situation of the club. It's not very good. We had nearly 60 million at the end of last season, and now we're at minus 2 million, although lowest was minus 28. We've made some signings and some sales, of course. Currently no activity being done, because I'm done, effectively. These are the transfers in. As you'll notice, the top one, Tommy Doyle for £60 million, as well as Anis Salah-Eddin, Ivan Nato and Brandon Williams all coming in, with Roberto Lopez as our replacement for Domingos Quina, who left for £3.6 million, and Joe Rothwell, who left for £12 million. Dinel Simia, sold for £750,000, has been replaced by Eduardo at centre-back. Dennis Jonsson's come in as a new central attacking midfielder as well, but for today's game he's playing as a right winger because Emre Moore is currently suspended, as is Ben Thompson. We've also brought in a player called Aidan Pilbeam, who is at the minute not great, a 2-star player, on loan at Portsmouth, but he is a 4-star potential player. Yes, I'm well aware it says potential to be a championship player, but he'll make a good bit of money for us in the future. And obviously, Remy Deschamps, our goalkeeper, technically replacement for Turgeman, while he was out in international duty, is coming in for a £400,000 fee. We've sold Jerry Vasquez for £5 million to Bayern Munich, which, yeah, that makes sense to me because he was never going to get into the team. Dito Zan's gone out on loan to Tenerife. Sebastian Casares, in his final season at the club's gone out on loan to that Turkish team. Dimitris Demosthenes is going on loan to Hereford. Arnold Suarez going on loan to Midtjylland in Denmark, I believe. Marco Biagiotti going on loan to Brøndby. Dennis Tintor going on loan to Sutton. Jonathan Neal being given out as an affiliate loan to Voluntari, and obviously Aidan Pilbeam, as you can see, moving on loan to Portsmouth. Currently, there are no loan players in my team. Unfortunately, that does mean that with the team we've chosen for today's game, we're having to go fairly bare bones when it comes to the bench, in that we've actually got 3 defenders, a goalkeeper and an ageing Mark Albright on the bench. Normally, Albright will be swapped out for Emre Moore or Johnson, depending on what formation we're going with. Thompson will be on the field and Nato will be on the bench in place of probably Salah-Eddin. And Deschamps will be off the bench for Brandon Williams, as he is the more effective left-back than Salah-Eddin. But the team we've got for today is Turgeman in goal, with Kadu at right-back, Sahajovic at left-back, with Tuanzebe, Clark and Eduardo in centre defence for a 5 at the back formation. Doyle and Nato currently being put up as the central midfielders for today's game, with Dennis Johnson and Gleason on the wings, with Louis Barry up front. On the bench, we've got Roberto Lopez, Alvaro, Anis Salah-Eddin, Aniel Erdogan, Richard Nate, Remy Deschamps and Mark Albright. We're still trying to get a loan for Naldino out to some other club, because he's still not at full first team quality, and Marco Stiepermann is actually going to be retiring probably at the end of this season, so selling him on is not the most important thing to do. So let's get into the first game of the season, and we are actually the first game entirely of the season. We're playing on Friday 9th of August, and we are going to be starting off the 2024-25 season with a game against Chelsea at Stamford Bridge. Now, of course, I'm hoping for a win, as I always do, but it's more the fact that Millwall and Chelsea are rival teams, so a win today will be even more effective. Being in a defensive formation does mean that we're more likely not to score, but it doesn't matter in my opinion. Defensive formation still can be useful for a scoring team if we're playing a team we're expecting to lose against, which is Chelsea. Chelsea have actually got the first opportunity, and Turgeman thankfully falls onto that ball and does stop it from going in the net. I watched some of the Olympic games that were going on prior to the first game of this season, and Pablo Turgeman managed to make it out of the group stage of the Olympics, but due to games that I was watching for Boston, which were the first games of their League One season, I couldn't watch the rest of the fixtures for the Olympic competition. But as far as I'm aware, he didn't win it. And annoyingly, as I'm going on my ramblings about Boston and Pablo Turgeman, Caio George has actually scored for Chelsea. Now, Caio George cost more than Tommy Doyle did. Caio George cost Chelsea just shy of £90 million. We would never be able to spend £90 million on a single player. To be fair, I'd be surprised if we could afford that on 3 or 4 players. We've spent 125 million on about 10. So clearly, there's differentiations of money around London. Chelsea again moving forward the ball. Anthony Martial now to Fabian. Back to Martial. Back to Fabian. Forward to Mendy. Gets it back to Fabian, who takes a shot and scores in the bottom right-hand corner. And it's looking very, very bad for Millwall today. This video should actually be going up on Friday. Obviously, for me, that's 2 days away. For you, that's today. But if this video doesn't go out on a Friday, it'll go out on next Monday, as I'm not uploading videos for Saturdays and Sundays, because it's easier for me to record Monday through Friday and then upload Monday through Friday, because it makes it simpler to follow a schedule for me at least. Tuanzebe now plays the ball forward for Johnson, plays back to Doyle. Doyle plays out wide, finding Kadu. Kadu runs along the wing, looking probably to get a cross in. And he does, and it looks like a goal for Gleason. Okay. Apparently, there's been a foul. What the? Seriously? I don't know what happened. It was all so choppy. All I know is apparently... Oh, Gleason handballed it, apparently. If you say so. Apparently he's also been yellow carded for it as well, which is iffy on my part. I wouldn't have thought he'd been yellow carded for a handball, but apparently he was. Mendy going with the ball for Chelsea. Plays it back to their goalkeeper. Plays it forward, finding Mason Mount, I believe that is. Martial now with the ball. Plays it back to Fabian, second goal scorer for Chelsea. Plays it over the top, finding Vincinius Jr. Losing out to Sahajovic, but Fikayo Tomori picks the ball up. And then back to Jr. and crosses it to Anthony Martial. Chelsea 3, Millwall 0. And you know what? If we're going to lose, it doesn't matter how many goals we lose by. Same as if we're going to win, we could win 1-0 or 12-0, still 3 points. So let's go attacking. Let's push Chelsea to the limit. Doyle with a corner kick, headed away by Chelsea, only as far as Johnson. Johnson gets past Anthony Martial, but then has a shot, and it's now a second corner kick for Millwall. With a bit of creativity and an attacking mentality, we actually are getting much more of the ball now. Sahajovic crosses it in, again headed away by Chelsea, this time chased by Mason Mount, who picks the ball up and is putting an attack on for Chelsea, but it's tackled by Kadu, and the highlight ends. Because the highlight just ended for some reason. Anyway, Chelsea now with a throw-in. Tomori plays it forward to Mount. Mount gets it back to Tomori, crosses it in, headed away by Clark. Doyle then clears it, only as far as Christensen. Christensen holds the ball up and plays it into the middle, finding... no idea how to pronounce that. Not a chance of pronouncing him. Fabian now the ball to Martial. Plays it back to Fabian. Now to Mount. Back to Fabian again. Plays it forward to Martial. Now back to Mendy on the left wing. Runs it forward, has a shot, but it's straight at Turgeman. I think it's the longest period of time we've actually gone without conceding a goal, which is good to know. We get creative again. Hopefully we can actually have something from this match, because currently at 36% possession, we're not going to do anything good. Got a free kick from Chelsea, swings it in. Tomori's header goes in the back of the net as well. And Chelsea are now winning 4-0 in the first half of this game at Stamford Bridge. Which is obviously very disheartening. I'm going to keep skipping now replays for goals, because otherwise the video's going to take too, well, not the video, but the match is going to take too long. And, yeah, clearly things aren't going very well today. We're going to completely change up the formation now and return to the original formation of a 4-2-3-1, with Clark coming off for Roberto Lopez for his debut. As well as that, we're also going to swap Louis Barry for Alvaro, and Gleason coming off for Mark Albrighton. 3 changes up front. Hopefully these 3 changes are going to be actually good ones. And we're going to be aggressive with the entire team. Now, more creativity. Clearly it's not actually working, saying be creative, but, you know, can't hurt. Might help once. All of the players on the Chelsea team, except their goalkeeper now, actually have got above 7 on their rating. And not a single player on our team has got even one of them above 7. Even though Turgeman has faced and saved 8 shots, which normally puts it up quite high. And ask for some passion, because hopefully maybe they'll be more passionate if we're now down 4-0. But it appears that with a change of formation, we're not conceding any goals. But now I've said that, of course, the game's going to make us concede a goal. Because that's just how Football Manager works. You say something and the exact thing you say hasn't happened, yet it happens. Anyway, throw in for Millwall. Zahajovic throws it to Albrighton. Albrighton picks out Nato, passes it back to Albrighton. Albrighton runs it into the middle a little bit and finds Doyle. Back to Albrighton again. Albrighton finds Doyle again. Forward finds Alvaro. Alvaro gets through, shoots, but saved by the Chelsea goalkeeper. And then cleared to Martial. Hudson-Odoi now with the ball for Chelsea. Plays it forward to Sergei. Sergei finds out wide Martial. Martial into the middle again for the player I can't pronounce the name of. Mendy crossed the ball in for Kyle George, but a good tackle from Eduardo stops the shot. And Turgeman catches the ball out of the air. Turgeman rolls it short to Tuanzebe. Tuanzebe runs it forward, gets it to Kadu, then gets into Doyle. Over the top, finding Roberto Lopez. Back to Doyle. Over the top, finds Alvaro again. Alvaro gets into the box. I don't know what that fling that flashed up was. Anyway, corner kick for now Alvaro. Not for Alvaro, but for Millwall from Alvaro. Zahajovic with another corner kick. Swings it into the far post and it's taken away by Chelsea. And Hudson-Odoi picks the ball up and goes on a counter-attack for Chelsea. And he's been fouled by Iban Nato. And by the looks of things, that's going to be a red card. By how slowly the referee's walking over to him. Which is going to be very, very annoying. Because that was not a red card offence. Okay. Looks like he's actually been given a talking to, not a card. And thankfully, the shot that was taken after that free kick was blocked. And we did not have anything to worry about. Still though, 4-0 down after half time, after being 4-0 down at half time, is impressive on my part. Apparently Tommy Doyle actually now has a 7.6 rating. I don't know why. I don't know what he's been doing differently than the rest of the team, but apparently he's now got a good rating. But after 92 minutes of football, Millwall lose on the opening day of the season 4-0. And apparently Andre Mariner, the referee, was atrocious in this game with a 5.1 rating. And I'll be honest with you, I'm going to aggressively say that I am far from pleased with that result, and I'm not even going to give the assist manager a chance to contradict me in that one, because I am very, very unhappy. We have got a friendly with Welling here, because there is a 2-week gap between the Chelsea game and our next game. So the next video obviously will be the next match against... wait, what? Oh, okay. I was very confused there. Yes, 4 players making their debut. There would have been more, but we didn't buy that many players. But yes, no, not Wales. I don't care about Wales. Well, I do care about Wales, but not at the minute. Brighton is our next game, and that'll be on Monday or Tuesday, depending on when this video goes up. But yeah, so 4-0 to Chelsea, unfortunately, on the first day of the season, and nothing really we can do about that, unfortunately. But until next time, as I say every episode, I bid thee adieu, goodbye.